Okay, want to welcome everybody to the second episode of the Real Talk podcast. I am your host, Sin Maris, JR, Will, what have you. And alongside me is Al. Say what up.
What's up?
Frank.
Yo.
Justin.
What's going on?
Nunez.
Hola.
And we have a very special guest for you guys today. Flew all the way out from fucking California to Florida just to be on the fucking podcast with us. The firework, the California girl, Katy Perry. Say what up.
You are all fireworks in my heart. How's it going?
AKA Ben. What's going on, guys? For those of you that listened to our last episode, KP and Justin weren't on it, but I'd like to welcome them. And since we pretty much touched on stuff that Al and Frank and Ed and I did last episode, I just want to ask Justin and Ben what they've been up to, and we'll start with Justin.
Not much, man. Working a ton. Playing a lot of hockey. Just trying to get in shape for the summer.
Ben, what you been up to, brother?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the time off I had between the next semester. Just started a new school semester. It's nice not having classes for once, but I'm doing an internship, so that's pretty interesting.
Good shit, good shit. So, second episode, pretty much. Pretty excited, especially with the feedback we got back on the first episode. Lots of positives. But first off, I just have to say this. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Fuck it. One guy didn't like the episode, didn't even hear the whole thing, and it just kind of ticked me off a little bit. And you know what? And everybody's entitled to their opinion. That's fair. That's fine. However, I don't feel you can comment on something without listening to the whole product and trash it. So, you know what? Kiss my ass, dude. Seriously. We're just here to have fun. There is no fucking formula to a podcast. You talk about whatever you want. It's just the way it works. It's how talk radio is. It's just a bunch of motherfuckers talking about whatever the fuck they want, whether it's friends and Skype and Mumble. Who gives a shit? And that's that. And with that, Justin, you mentioned playing hockey recently. That NHL lockout thing, what you've been doing about that. You happy that they started playing? I'm not a hockey guy, but, you know, it's nice to see it back, especially with a lot of friends of mine that, you know, they like it.
I mean, Boston. It's Boston Bruins. I don't know. I live in Philly, so, I mean, I know Flyers fans are going to be going nuts. They haven't started yet. They haven't even ratified the deal. I mean, the owners voted today unanimously to sign the deal. The players are going to vote. It should pass in the next 48 hours. I'm just glad it's over, man. It was 113 friggin' days without hockey, so now they're going to play like 48 games in 100 days, so it's going to be interesting.
And the ratings will keep going down, right? No, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't fucking know anything about hockey ratings, but
they set records last year, which is why this whole lockout was just insane that it went this long. I mean, hockey didn't have a better year except for last year. So I don't know. Training camp's supposed to open Sunday. Season's supposed to start the 19th. My ass is going to be in a seat on the 19th in Philly.
Sweet deal, dude. I kind of dig it. I mean, in terms of just beating people up, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, aside from that, I'm not really into hockey or anything like that, but I do appreciate the hits and stuff like that. You know, they have those ESPN like hit moments and shit. That's pretty cool. But
nah, I mean, it's not all about the fighting. I mean, I like to see more on ESPN. You know, the highlight goals as opposed to the vicious hits.
No, hockey's pretty fun. It's just hard to watch because the puck's so goddamn small.
Exactly.
It's so small.
You want to go back to the days where we had hockey on Fox and you put that little glow on the puck?
Oh yeah, but no, I went to the last Solar Bears game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at the last one, and they just brought the team back, but it's not in the same league.
Yeah.
It's in some other league.
But they're still in the new Amway Center, man. So it's nice.
I still need to go there, man. I heard it's nice as shit, but expensive.
Is
Like
it
the beer and shit? I heard the beer is expensive.
Oh yeah, $7.50 for a beer.
Fuck that.
I paid about
minor league
$9,
hockey
$10
stadium.
for a shot of wild turkey.
That's too much, dude.
Is it ECHL hockey?
I think so. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
NHL.
yeah.
It's the one right before it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, it's NHL, AHL, and then ECHL.
I'm pretty sure they used to
Yeah.
be NHL though, right? They used to be NHL.
A long time ago.
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, and I went to that's the game I was at, the last one.
Well, I know, like when I was little, especially being from New York, it was awesome, being a Rangers and Islanders fan, especially, growing up. I was born in '86, but those, growing up in an Islanders,
Glory
centric,
days.
yeah, exactly, the glory days of the Islanders, and then the Messier, and, later at the very tail end, Gretzky or whatever, it was awesome.
Yeah, but sitting in MSG had to have been awesome.
Oh, and it is. But the thing is, I fell out of hockey once they did the first lockout.
Was that 95? Or were you talking 2004?
I'll never understand those fucking lockout things, and that goes for any fucking sport. It's like millionaires and billionaires arguing about money. I mean, can we just fucking
disgusting.
play? You know what I mean? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I know
is.
me. Like, I have a
It's a
blast
power
going
trip,
out there.
man.
And Nunes can attest to this. Going out there playing fucking flag football on Sundays, making it rain out there. It's just a fucking blast, and I would love it if I got paid $100,000 to play that shit. Whatever it is. I'll never understand it. Some of these, I mean, I guess I can understand in the NFL, contracts aren't guaranteed. But every time I hear a fucking NBA or MLB has a hang up, they're not going to get this done. Give me a break. You guys got guaranteed contracts. Get out there and fucking play, dude. Seriously.
It's all because everybody has God complex, and nobody wants anybody to tell them what to do because they think they're God,
Well, I mean, the thing that bothers me the most out of everything, it's the owners versus the players, and it's like, you hear their side and then you hear the other guy's side, but in reality, it's, the way that I see it, with the whole NFL lockout that we had, it's the people that get fucked over are, the middle people, the fans get fucked over because it's like, I don't know who said it, but it's like, hockey's been at its prime the past few years, and it's like, you have the momentum going, why would you do this nonsense and lose that momentum? And on top of it, like, the middle people, like I said, again, the fan, the workers that work the concession stand, they get freaking $8 an hour to sell you a $7 beer. It's bullshit the amount of the last few months that people that work for hockey and stuff like that no jobs, nothing like that, man. That's crazy.
And you're right, having hockey build up the momentum from the last lockout, I feel like
just
even
lose
more people, and then I feel like even more people dropped from that one.
Yeah.
And then like, you're going to do it again, you're going to kill the sport and no one's going to watch.
48 games, that's absolutely ridiculous.
48 games in 100 days, and it's going to, in places like Philly, I guarantee you, in 10 days on the 19th when the Flyers open the season, it's going to be a sellout. In Boston, it's going to be a sellout. At MSG, sellout. It's those lower market teams like Columbus, Phoenix, Dallas. Why does Dallas have a hockey team? Why does Phoenix have a hockey team? I mean, and that's what one of the big deals was with this lockout. It was revenue sharing. It was the fact that teams like Boston and Philly and New York have to pick up the slack for those teams like Phoenix, which has been league owned for the last 3 seasons.
Sport. I mean, that's just the way it is, and that's just the way I look at it. I mean, I don't know.
It's one of those. This was one of those lockouts where it was like, it's owners versus players, but this is one of those ones that I feel kind of good about because I feel like the players won. And that doesn't happen. I mean, granted, in any lockout, the owners are going to get what they want in the end, because they'll just keep the players locked out. But I feel like the players definitely took a lot more back because they knew that the NHL wasn't going to allow a second season to be canceled in 8 years.
Absolutely, and they would have been dumb to do it because I'm telling you, the fan base would have just plummeted. Because you can't have because fans will just lose faith in that sport.
And they already
personally involved and emotionally involved in a team, because like what I do with the Yankees, I get emotionally attached to that team.
Same here, dude.
How can you do that?
Not with the Yankees, but with the Red Sox.
Right, but how could you emotionally get attached to a team if they're not going to be around next year? Because they're fucking douchebags.
And you know what, and fans definitely, at least with hockey, have lost faith in the commissioner. I mean, Gary Bettman's been the commissioner of the NHL for 20 years. Something like 600 days of his term have been lockout days. I mean, that's ridiculous. And you know what, he came out with a statement today after they ratified the new CBA, and just came out with this scripted, monotone apology, and then was a complete dick to reporters that tried to like get more out of him, and it was just like, why are you even bothering, dude? You're not helping your cause, and I really hope this is his last year as commissioner.
How do you like him as a commissioner compared to
I
like
don't.
other commissioners? Well, I mean, what do you think about other commissioners such as like in other sports? You know what I mean?
I think Bud Selig's an asshole personally.
Yeah.
I think Goodell has a god complex. And David Stern, I mean, let's not even get. I mean, they're all fucking idiots. But I mean, then again, we're fucking fans. We're on the outside, sitting in, looking in. You know,
Yeah,
if it's not
I mean,
favoring our team, it's it's BS.
it wasn't even about that. About favoring like your team, I guess. But he's been the only commissioner the NHL has ever had. And he's been the commissioner for 20 years, man.
Wow.
It's time to go.
I want to brush on something real quick too while we're on the topic of sports. I know we talked about it last week, whatever the playoffs, but I mean that Seattle Washington game was pretty badass to watch. I mean, went back to the highlights. I think that Karajithi is great. I don't think that he should have been. He should have been
He
playing.
shouldn't have gone back in after that.
Should have gone back in. Yeah, I mean, he was fine to play the previous weeks. And that was fine, but now everyone has this, backlash towards Shanahan. But he was fine to play 3 weeks before, but he's not good to go now. I don't know. But then again, it's Russell fucking Wilson. That kid's fucking great.
He tweaked it though a lot in that game, more than you actually think. Like even in the first quarter, and then again when he actually completely annihilated it, towards the end of the game, which forced him to have the actual LCL tear on top of the additional mishap with the ACL. It's just terrible to see, to be honest. He's a rookie quarterback, and now we're talking about recovery. I mean, I know Adrian Peterson did it, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking the whole time, hopefully he can reach out.
He's going to be ready for the start of the next season?
I don't know, but then I start Cousins.
That's what the Dr. Andrews is thinking that he should be. But only thing I'm thinking in the back of my mind is I hope that he's able to reach out maybe to Adrian Peterson, because he just came off of the ACL injury and dominated. And I'm hoping somehow they can talk about the rehab, what they did, and maybe he can come back even stronger, just like him.
Listen, I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but if he should reach out to anybody, it should be Tom Brady. I mean, same injury, same position.
That's very true. That's a good call, man. I didn't even think about that.
And not to mention the greatest quarterback to ever play the game.
Good call. We
can argue that later.
Fanboy. I don't know. Speaking of like Shanahan, you while I don't agree with him, you can't blame him. First playoff action since Elway. What has he done since? You can't really blame him for leaving him in.
Dude's won 3 Super Bowls. You know what I mean? And when your quarterback comes up to you saying, I'm just saying, he's won 3 Super Bowls. And when your starting quarterback, your rookie quarterback that's been dominating, brought you to the playoffs, comes up to you,
he's okay, then you leave him in.
There's a difference between being injured and hurt. And coach, I'm hurting right now, but I'm not injured. I mean, if somebody came out to tell me in that position, I'd have to let him play. I mean, when he dropped back and just missed a step there, slipped on the turf, I don't know what happened. That's just, it is what it is. But I would have left him in there, I think, at that point.
Is that when he got rocked with that late hit?
It wasn't really a late. I mean, that did additionally hurt
it. He bumped into him, but he definitely.
And then when he dropped back when he was at his own 5-yard line, and then his knee just popped out of his place, and he was out. He walked off the field.
The game was rough to watch, man. At the end of that first quarter, I was so happy because I was rooting for the Skins.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, talking about playing hurt and shit like that. I mean, I totally get it and everything. But hurt and being injured, yeah. I mean, huge difference, no question. I mean, we go out, and do shit all day. How do I put this? If you're hurt, I mean, you can still work it, sure. But I mean, he said he wasn't injured, so shit. Put him out there again, why not? But I also think there's a sort of pride thing there as well. Like, he didn't want to seem like because football is all about that, machismo type thing. You don't want to look like a pussy to the rest of your teammates. So you're like, I'll go in there and play. I think there might have been some of that as well. But I think Shanahan probably should have put his foot down and put Cousins in, who I think is an equally capable quarterback.
Yeah, but I mean, as a coach, I think you have to evaluate your players a little bit better because it's I get it. He's a rookie quarterback. He's, the face of the franchise, but it's, sometimes you have to say, well, what's best for the team, not today, but in the long run. As many players that we've seen the past few months, past few years come back from these kind of injuries right back, it doesn't mean it's guaranteed he's going to be back for the beginning of the season. So it's kind of one of those things that's like, as a coach, if a guy comes up to you and he says, "Coach, I can go back in," sometimes you have to tell yourself, you know what, I'm gonna have to put the other guy in. It's just, like I gave shit to Chris Ponder for. I'm like, dude, like your freaking elbow hurts. Get out there and play. But
Exactly.
it's a catch-22 because I swear to God, if at the beginning of the week Mike Shanahan has said, you know what, man, like I'm gonna have to go with the backup Cousins, and Cousins had a shitty game, everybody would have said if that was RG3, he would have shredded them up. It would have been a different game. But in reality, this is what would have happened, and it's one of those things that they should have went with Plan B.
And Cousins won that game too. And I think Mike Shanahan might have actually watched the Packers Vikings game and saw Joe Webb playing in place of Ponder and saw how absolutely terrible he did. Then again, they were playing the Green Bay Packers. I'll give them that. But at the same time, the Packers just beat the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings just beat the Packers, a week or two right before the last
week
game
right
of the
before,
season.
yeah, last game of the season.
And it's like, I don't know. I mean, you maybe should have stuck with the same game plan, but I would have not have put in Joe Webb for his first playoff game, his first snap of the year. I just don't think that was the right call. And when it comes to starting RG3, he did good to start the game. He got him up 14-0. And then when he tweaked it after that first sack, I think it was right to put in Cousins. I think Shanahan should have made the call.
Yeah, man, I definitely agree with that, dude.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's, if you know your own body better than anybody, I suppose. But
what's he got, 4 to 6 months recovery on that?
ACL. I mean, it's usually a year injury, but I mean, I got her playing soccer.
They said 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
I don't think it was an ACL to 6 to 8 weeks, months. That's
months.
Yeah, 6 to 8 months, dude.
That's plenty of time. Actually, I'm curious about something here. Al just posted link about new Valve. Is that the same people that make Half-Life or whatever?
That's Half-Life. That's the makers of Steam and all of that. Like, the Steam, like, the PC. Pretty much, if you are a PC gamer, you have Steam on your computer.
Of course,
hands down.
Yeah. What's the
it's essential?
What is it? Does it work like a PC? Is it? What exactly?
It's exactly like a PC. It's miniature, and it houses everything that you need. It's from a company called XIV. It's called the Piston, and it's backed by Valve and runs straight just interconnectivity with Steam, and also has the ability to run a Linux OS. But it's basically a Steam-driven PC. So it's kind of like having a console, but it's not backed by like Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo.
It's like a PC console,
completely on the cloud. And everything. That's cool. That's
right,
neat.
and it's tiny. Like if you look at the pictures down here, it fits in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. I like that.
That is, yeah. I like
it's also speaking of that, you guys the NVIDIA console as well. That looks like it could be pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was just catching up on some things from the CES. That happened this week. I don't know, Consumer Electronics Show. Anybody actually watches that, but I do. And watching, what NVIDIA's doing with, like he just said, their new processor that's going to be in, a new handheld console that they got coming out. Razer just released a new tablet gaming tablet.
It's so fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, you buy this PC, you think it's going to be top of the line for a while, and then like all this shit comes out, and it's like, god damn it, now I got
something new every
every fucking time, dude. It's fucking horrible. Like,
yeah, might as well not even waste your time.
Seriously,
Sam, I got a quick thing to shoot at you real quick, man.
Holler at me, bro.
Dude, I know you like the Celtics just as much as me, man, but did you hear about the last game that they played against the Knicks?
I saw that, dude.
Dude, about how Carmelo
trying to jump KG in the bus or some shit like that.
Dude, what the fuck is up with that? I'm actually reading on TMZ right now. It says that supposedly
the most reliable source.
The most reliable source. This is the only source that Real Talk uses.
The Inquirer
right here. You might as well. But listen, this nobody can confirm or deny this. But somebody supposedly says that KG said Anthony's wife tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Wow.
Quote and quote.
Got him.
No. From what I hear, he actually said your wife tastes like my favorite cereal. Honey Nut Cheerios.
There you go. I like that even better.
God, I love KG because he will say that shit. If you ever remember that fucking bar fight interview, I will never forget that fucking interview, dude. He's like, it's a fucking bar fight, man.
Craig.
Ever been to bar fight? I'm like,
That is the
this
best.
white guy is probably
What the fuck?
scared out of his fucking mind right
Craig
now.
Sager, bro. All he does is show up with the fucking fancy ass
Fucking
suit every
weird-ass
time.
suits, dude.
Every time, and then he shows up with KG sweating after a game. Craig, you ever been in a ball fight, Craig? It was a ball fight, Craig. It was a ball fight, Craig. You ever been in a ball fight?
I mean, did you guys hear what that KG and Tim Duncan got beef? Did you guys hear what KG said to Tim Duncan?
No.
Nah, dude.
So years ago, when KG plays for Minnesota, I guess I can't remember specifically, but Tim Duncan's mother passed away. I think when he was like a teenager or some shit. And Tim Duncan shooting a free throw, and it's Mother's Day, and KG yells, "Happy Mother's Day, motherfucker!" And dude, ever since then, statistically
He is such a
speaking, like,
bastard, dude. But I fucking love that guy, man.
I love his intensity, man.
Yeah, I mean,
dude, Tim
Dude,
Duncan
you can't
has
help
some
but
of,
be friends with a guy like that.
dude,
Tim Duncan has some of his best games against KG, dude.
is real talk right there. Like, seriously, like that motherfucker doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, it goes back to, like, if you ever heard about Joakim Noah. He says he used to have posters of KG as a
And
kid.
now he doesn't care for him anymore.
Dude, when he played up against him, he's like, dude, man, this dude, I can't stand him, dude. He is the worst. And he can't, dude, every time they play, it's just great. I mean, it's just sports, you know? It's on the court.
Sport.
It's on the court.
Deal with it, you know? Like, that's the way it is. He's that's how he plays. And, you watch the fucking video. He's kicking Carmelo and shit. And I'm like, but you know what? That's part of the game. Don't be a bitch about it, you know?
Well, I mean, from other things that I heard, I heard that after the game, they said that Carmelo was trying to look for KG to try to make it sound like it was something violent. From my understanding, from what I read, he was just trying to talk to him, just like trying to get stuff out of his chest and stuff like that. And
you
from
really
what
don't
I read,
know my wife tastes, right? Like, right? I mean,
but I
you were
mean,
lying
I
about
heard,
that, right, KG?
I heard that they did have like a phone conversation and all this other stuff. But then again, I read that online. That might be bullshit too.
TMZ, what else is TMZ saying there, Ben?
Bro,
any news on the new Katy Perry?
Listen, I am glad you just turned to me for some more hot topics, because I hope all of you, although it was an absolute pathetic game and something that was worth almost crying over, for having that day off for that big of a game, the national championship between Notre Dame and the Rolling Tide of Alabama.
Yeah, I'm not into college football, but I mean, I was here in Hawaii, especially. Like I said,
dude,
it is egocentric.
Oh, sure, they're talking about that fucking the dude ogling off the model,
the Mormon guy.
They've been talking about that shit.
I don't know what you're talking about, Frank, but what I was going to refer to...
The commentator was ogling on the quarterback's girlfalling.
Yeah.
And they're making a big deal about it, but it's like, what's the big deal? She was nominated as like fucking Miss Alabama. Obviously, she's fucking hot. Like, what the hell? Why get pissed off that he's saying that?
She is the hottest piece of ass you have ever seen in your entire life. That is the prettiest face I have ever seen on a female in my entire life. And right now, I am looking at her in a bikini. But let me post this for you so you all can see this real quick. Give me 1 second.
Music. Like, we need some music in the background right
now.
I
wish. Dude, as soon as we get the other software figured out, it'll be better. We can have sound bites and all that shit.
Yeah, get some music in this bitch.
Just go ahead and check out TMZ. It's probably like the third, I think, topic
her
on there.
Name
Just
is
go ahead and take a look.
Webb. She was like Miss Alabama or some shit like that. But I'm thinking... Go ahead.
She had, I think, 150 to 200,000 more Twitter followers. I think about 6 hours after the actual airing of the game.
How does a college kid pull that, though? I mean, like
that's exactly what I was thinking, man. Look at the difference between the two.
Al, I mean, come on.
She wants that NFL money, baby. I'm telling you, she wants it. She sees that NFL money coming.
Give me a break.
Of course, dude.
I don't know. That photo almost looks photoshopped.
Which I don't know.
Like her face doesn't look like it belongs on her body.
Yeah, her body does look kind of odd. I mean, they obviously did kind of cut her in there to put her in with the same picture
her
as
face
AJ.
Isn't even remotely the same color as her body.
That's true. It does. It does look a different color.
That's a good point, dude. That's a good point. It does
Man,
look
if I go to
Photoshopped.
Google right now, I know I'm gonna go crazy, but I'll just stick on TMZ. But she is gorgeous though, especially seeing her wearing that Rolling Tide. She was touched up. She knew she was gonna be on camera that night. I promise you.
She's Miss Alabama, of course.
This segment of the program is brought to you by TMZ.com.
All right.
No,
Go ahead and get your gloves in, ladies and gentlemen.
No, not really.
Oh,
but I mean, it's ridiculous though how
it's brought to you by Bud Light Lime.
Dude, how a team can leap to the #1 seed, 12-0, the only. Well, I'm not sure if it's the only. Don't quote me, but one of the only undefeated teams in the the NCAA right now in college football. They can leap to the #1 seed and still get absolutely annihilated against a seed that has a team that has one loss. I mean, I think it obviously is just a difference in conferences, but I mean, Alabama actually, it was the worst underdog in NCAA history for the BCS championship game, and there was no reason not to make them the worst underdog because they played just like that. Manti Te'o was a Heisman Trophy candidate, and he missed, I think, like 4 or 5 tackles, solo tackles that he normally makes throughout the entire season. The SEC is just such a faster team. It's ridiculous. They're gonna win 4 straight coming up next year.
Well, I mean, I honestly think it's a combination of that and the fact that Alabama, obviously, they have way more experience than Notre Dame does. They have way more experience. So I feel like that gap between their last game and this game, I think the coach for Alabama was way more prepared. Definitely. And it kind of showed on film because, like, those tackles that those guys were missing, it's like, dude, have you been living under a fucking rock?
For real, those are common sense football plays. I mean, those are plays that you make in Pee Wee football. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can't say shit. If you put me out there for that game, I think I wouldn't be able to put my helmet on the right fucking way. So I really can't say shit.
I completely feel
Nunez,
you, man.
I see you when you play flag football. Come on, dude. I mean, you can't cover me at QB, but I mean, aside from that.
I mean, I could cover the ball when you throw it up in the air and I get that interception and throw it in your face. That's so much
dude, when you threw that ball at me, directly at me, bro, holler at me. I mean, I remember when I picked you off in the snow, holler back.
And, dude, you know what the funniest thing that I heard was when they were interviewing Nick Saban after the actual interview. Keep in mind, I think he's won 3 or 4 total championships now. So what they asked him was, what do you do with your championship rings? I mean, because he wasn't wearing any of them post-conference, pre-conference, and they asked him, what do you do with your rings? And he said, honestly, I just keep them on the coffee table for the recruits to see whenever I'm talking to them.
Nice, dude.
I mean, what else could you? What else could you ask for, dude?
That's Belichick's homeboy, There's a pedigree there. There's a pedigree there. I mean,
but it is like I said, SEC, man. We have so many Florida Gators on the New England Patriots, and they all play hard as hell, man. Starting from Brandon Spikes, man. He's an amazing linebacker, and all he does is hit, man. He makes tackles.
He's a scary-looking black guy. I gotta say that.
Every freaking black guy looks scary to you, dude. Fucking 4'3" midget, yo. That guy ain't fucking with him, man.
Man, Gary Coleman, he has it out for me, man. I promise.
Listen, man, jumping horses here real quick. I just wanted to touch on this because, Nunez, I don't know if you can identify here, but most of us here are MMO players. What do you guys think of the beta coming up for 14?
I think I'm in the wrong fucking podcast,
man. Wait, before we get into that, speaking of the beta, that page, I went on that today. I don't need to apply, right? I mean, none of us need to apply.
If you're a
We're
legacy
all legacy members.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, legacy members don't need to apply. That's fucking game.
Yeah, I saw Angie tagged us in all that post. That's pretty cool that she did that, man. Obviously, she has nothing else to do with her free time.
No shit.
Sorry, Frank, you're not involved.
I don't know if you're friends with her on Facebook. Well, I don't know how that works out. I get tagged on everything 14.
Okay, Angie, if you're listening to this, you need to add Frank on Facebook.
Yeah, add Frank on Facebook.
I'm hurt right now.
Yeah, but no, dude, you see that article? If Square Enix makes another mistake like 14, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, dude. No question. I mean, that was a fucking flop of the century. Are you kidding me?
But dude, the alpha was phenomenal. If you ask me, dude. To be honest, I love World of Warcraft, but how they do their quests. I love Star Wars, how they do their quests, and their cutscenes and storylines and everything was phenomenal. And Final Fantasy, how they were able to incorporate with the quests on the side. You can always see them on the top. The difference, how you can exchange. I mean, sorry, not exchange, but change
I didn't play the
UI.
Alpha, so explain this.
Pretty much, dude. You played World of Warcraft. It's pretty much bringing it to the standard MMO of today. Pretty much, they're adding jump, they're adding the quest tracker, they're adding everything. Putting it in today's standards with the MMO. You go here, kill this, collect collect that.
Did they lock it to Gridania for Alpha?
Only Gridania, yeah. Alpha
and how is the map compared to the old Gridania map?
I thought it was better. I mean,
oh my goodness is right, Al. Go ahead and tell him, man, because it's pretty overwhelming almost at first.
Okay, so you load into Alpha, and you have no idea what to expect, right?
Right.
You get this like crazy loud fucking music that they ended up toning down because it was obnoxious.
It was ridiculous, dude.
But it was good. And it got you excited to play the game again. And then you finally, create your character. You only had two to choose from, two races, one male, one female. One was human, one was Mithra or whatever.
So, Mikote, whatever.
No,
Mikote. There you go.
No male Mikute or any of that.
No, but they did have a model in game, which was cool. So you kind of had an idea of what they were going to look like. Anyway, the actual, like if you watch the videos, you kind of get an idea of what they looked like the maps themselves, or the environments. But never have I ever in a Final Fantasy game ever. Outside of Final Fantasy XII, I don't care. Fanboys, post your rage on the bottom. Outside of Final Fantasy XII, ever felt a more alive Final Fantasy.
I think I agree the same exact way, dude. Although I wasn't really contributing most to the posting and updating, there never really seemed like there was anything to be updated about. I was maybe the 6th or 7th wave to go in.
It was probably the alpha I've seen.
Yeah, dude, and it was phenomenal. From the jumping to the actual graphics around and everything. I mean, I lagged a little bit here and there. There was tons of people on there towards the end, and the lag is understandable towards when everybody's streaming there, but everything besides that was awesome.
Was anything, did they limit the classes? Did they let you craft? Did they let you gather?
You had Archer, Dragoon, and Conjurer.
Yeah. And you could get AF too, which is really awesome. And once you get to level 10, you could skip right to 15, which is pretty cool, I thought. So you can kind of jump around and learn different type of things. But once you get to level 10 is when you actually unlock the ability to do leaves, you can do crafting, you could do gathering, and it was pretty awesome.
I mean, I think it's going to be interesting because when the servers went down, each of us had 50 everything. So it's going to be it's kind of going to be like, well, what's going to happen with us? What's going to happen with us when we log in?
This is actually pretty cool.
Is it going to be an end game?
This is what's going to happen. So you're going to have the people with PS3, and you're going to have the new people on PC that got attracted to this game, and they're all going to be loading up, and they're going to start a brand new character, and they're going to have a different beginning of the game than we are.
Wow. We're going to be the boss.
We are going to have
OG status.
We are going to have a separate spawn point. We are going to have a separate cutscene, and they are catering to the legacy members for our own storyline.
Get on my level, ho! What? Get on my level, ho! What?
So they'll start in their hometown of Gridania, where they haven't announced where the legacy members, when they log in, are going to load into the game.
Sandoria represent.
So, but it's actually
Sandoria. Oh my goodness!
But it's actually really cool.
Sandoria all the way.
I personally had some fucking qualms with the alpha. At first, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Okay.
At first, I was completely blown away. I was like, "This is amazing." You can even ask Wilson here. I was just like, I couldn't stop talking about it. I was so excited.
It was annoying, but okay.
Yeah, it was annoying to a point. But I mean, I think that was to the point that we couldn't contribute to it.
Yes, you're right.
But also, it was just kind of a little bit annoying.
And I apologize for that. However,
it's all good.
My biggest gripes with that game, and I ended up posting this video on a fan page on Facebook, and I also ended up posting this page on the actual forums. And it was a video of these people bashing the alpha. And to a point, I agreed to everything that they said. Because
they brought up some decent points.
There's a 4-second global cooldown on every single one of your abilities.
Yeah.
There, even though your movement isn't restricted, like spell locking, as we call it, even though there isn't any movement restrictions, which is awesome, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So you can move and cast.
Yeah, well, you can't move and cast. Nobody. I mean, that I
that
still
means
don't
we won't
want that to
fucking wipe
happen.
on effort every fucking time.
No more
however,
excuses for the noobs.
But I won't get stuck.
I live in Germany. I have a little bit of a lag here. Excuse me, please.
But you won't get stuck in an animation.
All right, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, moving will immediately cancel your spell. Or
I'm gonna let you know if you're interrupted too.
So standing on cracks is no longer an excuse. And
True.
No more,
and
bro.
the biggest thing is to pay, contribute to SE about how awesome Alpha opened. I mean, we were able to log in the moment the servers went live and play the game. We were able to download the game the moment it went live and play the game without any crashes.
Is it going to save?
Server going
is
down.
It going to save 14?
Yes.
But really?
only if they fix certain things about the alpha, and there are still problems.
What are you and I gonna have to do? What are we going to have to do when we log into this game? We're 50 everything, so we're gonna have a storyline of a quest chain to run through.
Endgame, bro. Endgame the fuck out of that shit.
Endgame the fuck out of it. We have no idea.
You have no idea how much
We're
content.
boss status, I'm telling you, both.
You have no idea how much content they're adding to this game, not to mention you haven't even gotten a relic yet. So there are still plenty of things left to be done, not to mention Arcanist and Summoner.
Yeah.
They're adding so much content to this game, not to mention the content that's already there.
I'm optimistic. The thing is, my only hang-up with this whole thing is the bad rap that the game already has.
Yeah.
They're making these great changes and everything, but yet it just has this stigma like, oh, it failed, it bombed, and everything. It
really is, man. I'm trying to get my old friends that played 11 with me 5-6 years ago to come back and play it. They played a 14 for the 2 weeks when it started. Oh, it was terrible. I'll never touch that again.
It was terrible, though.
It was. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it really
but at
was.
the same time, I'm trying to spread the word, man, that the good stuff is coming. You know what I mean?
Spread the gospel.
Get your Jesus, son.
I don't know about no gospel, and I don't know about no Jesus, but I am spreading the good word.
It's going to rely on us to tell everyone how much better it's going to be.
It really is.
No amount of fanfare that Square Enix dances around.
Because they don't fucking market anyways.
Right.
Oh, of course not.
And I don't care whether it requires power leveling or giving some gil, you know what I mean? If we want to get somebody into the game and into playing it with us, you know what I mean, as a group, we're going to do
again.
it.
I mean, I'm going to hook them up. I mean, I just want to make sure that we have a solid core.
Power leveling is still an option in this game, by the way.
Yep.
They have not taken it out, and I brought it up to Fern Hallways, and they said they even responded to it in one of their alpha posts that they have zero desire of taking it out of the game either.
Yeah, I mean, what's the big deal, really? Who cares? Because honestly, isn't the whole point of playing any game, whether it's Final Fantasy, Call of Duty, whatever, you want to get there, you want to get the best weapons, you want to get, you want to be doing all that crazy awesome shit so that you're well geared and that you're pimped out, and all the fucking noobs come at you and are like, "Oh my god, where'd you get that?" Honestly,
I like to do it to be a dickhead. I just wanna.
Well, I mean,
I don't even give a shit.
I know it is, but hold up though. Even when you were playing Call of Duty and shit like that, what were you working towards, bro? You were working towards getting that fucking level 50, whatever the fuck
getting
that golden gun.
Dude, nah, man, I didn't give a fuck about any of that
Bullshit,
shit. As long as I got,
motherfucker.
Nah, dude,
Yeah,
honestly,
for real.
dude.
You know, all
Dude,
the
I didn't
motherfuckers
see-
gangster
here's
prestige.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah,
We
man.
got these guys, right?
High ass kill death ratio.
No, but it's we'll be in a match and shit like that, and we'll be fucking losing, and it's me and another brother of mine, we'll be winning everybody's ass, and it's just we'll get the team needs 75, to say that we need 40 kills, we'll get 30, and we'll still fucking lose, and it's dude, we got fucking 80% of the fucking kills. How the hell did we still lose? And you get these kids that are they're yeah, man, I probably should have used a different gun, but I'm just trying to, use this gun so I can. This is the last gun I need to get to make gold and shit like that. I'm so you're using a fucking gun you don't regularly use. You're getting your ass kicked, and you don't even care about the mission that's going at hand. Right? It's only team deathmatch, but it's fuck you, dude. I don't give a fuck about. I do not give a fuck about that shit, man.
But he brings up a point that we can correlate to Final Fantasy or anything really too. Though you have some people who they want to wear what they want to wear, because it looks cool or something like that. They don't care for the best interest of the team. You know what I'm trying to say? It goes for anything. It's kind of annoying, but that's just that's just the way I look at it.
Yeah, dude, and then I just want to make sure you guys understand why I don't play Final Fantasy. I was traumatized by this game years ago. See, you guys are laughing. See, when I had
they made you read?
Nah, man, I think I had a PlayStation 1, and I forgot what Final Fantasy was out.
Final Fantasy, that's the hood version.
Final Fantasy, son.
That's the point.
I'm gonna take these Final panties off.
Dude, I never played the game. It looked fucking awesome. My buddy's nah, dude, we should get Tony Hawk. I'm dude, fuck you. I'm not getting Tony Hawk. I'm getting Final Fantasy, whatever. So I had enough money to get Final Fantasy and Tony Hawk. And my buddy's like, all right, can we at least play Tony Hawk first? I'm like, dude, like, you know what? Fuck it. It's my house. We'll play Tony Hawk. As soon as you leave, I'll go play Final Fantasy. We played Tony Hawk for like 6 hours, dude. I didn't even fucking realize. That's probably like one of my favorite fucking games. So
It is, dude.
he's like, oh, dude, let's play that game you want to play. I'm like, fuck it, let's blow let's throw the game in. And it's like, I'm the type of guy, I want to go into a room with a shotgun, just blow everybody's head off, then figure out what the hell the mission is, and it's just.
You spent an hour waiting for something to happen because of all the stories.
So yeah, dude. It's like we get in there and it's like the graphic. I'm like, yo, these are cool graphics. My boy's like, yeah, man, this is fucking cool, dude. So we're fucking walking around, and then we kept fucking walking around. And then we ran into this freaking little bush monkey or some shit like that. And it's like, oh yeah. And I'm looking at my buddy like, yo, we gonna fight. He's like, yeah, we gonna fight. We gonna fuck this dude up.
It's about to go down.
So I'm thinking like, yo, I got the dude with a big ass sword. I'm like, yo, take your sword out and cut this dude's head off. Like, boom, do it. And it's like, oh, pick a spell. I'm like, all right, cool. What the hell is a cut his head off spell? Didn't have that shit. I picked a spell. That shit said you missed. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss? I didn't even fucking move. So I'm sitting there looking at my boy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna return this shit because this ain't for me.
I feel you. I mean, no, go ahead. My fault.
Nah, it's just like, it just threw me off because I wasn't expecting them. Like, they make the fucking cover look cool. Like, they make it look like you're gonna be in there with a sword and a dude with magic throwing like balls in dude's face and like going around them and like slicing their freaking throats
man, but
off.
every
you're in the
movie
same fucking
awesome.
spot.
Yeah, you're talking about Final Fantasy VII, which I gotta say has probably been Square Enix's best marketing campaign. I mean, when I first saw it, I thought it was gonna be a movie.
It's the best Final Fantasy.
Hold on, right there.
Let's go ahead and backtrack.
We won't touch on that this episode.
Hold up. I do have a question though, real quick, that a friend of mine actually posed. He was interested because he knows that I'm into RPGs and all that shit. But like, he like Edison, he can't get into RPGs. He doesn't understand. But like, what got you guys into MMOs or RPGs or whatever it is?
Final Fantasy VII.
First.
But why do you like RPGs? That is what I'm trying to say. So the person outside can understand.
Bro, the first reason why I got into RPGs is, honestly, I had to buy an extended hard drive for my PS2 in order to download new maps to play SOCOM 2 online. And what came with that hard drive is a demo to Final Fantasy XI online. I've never played an online game before in my entire life, but I know my best friend in the entire world, Cody, loves Final Fantasy. So I decided to give it a try. And this is where I met Justin, a.k.a. Skeeters, a.k.a. Philadelphia Pride. I mean, this is where I fell in love with RPGs.
This was 9 years ago, man.
9 years ago, man.
Bro,
I remember that.
Bro, every Friday night we would be up till about 3 or 4 a.m. with motherfuckers across the world, farming fucking random monsters, talking to each other just like we are here. I mean, honestly, I think it's the community. The game is phenomenal itself. Don't let me lie to you here. I strive. That's everybody wants good gear. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be geared shitty. It doesn't matter if you're crafting, if you're playing. Yeah. So I mean, but if you could play with your friends, if you could play with people across the world and even build new friendships with people that you don't even know that like the same stuff as you, let alone talk with them, you know what I mean? Since they brought the medium of talking
great example,
with the game.
The fucking Kuwaitis over there, those motherfuckers are cool as shit.
Dude, exactly. We would have never known anything.
You got me?
Regardless of the weird alien baby pictures that they post, they're pretty damn cool people, though.
What the fuck
They're
is
of
up
you,
with that
man.
shit?
They're of you.
I don't get that.
It's the community, though, man. I think that's what the overall the message is that I wanted to make was. It's the community.
You know what? That's why we're all here right now.
Justin and I met a preacher. We met a preacher that that was playing a male character for the longest time. We thought was a male. We got on Ventrilo.
Yep.
And we're like, okay, maybe their voice is just really high. I'm not sure. I don't want to feel offended for asking.
And that's like, hey, you got to hit me up on MySpace, man.
Yeah, we look it up on MySpace. Old school. It's like a 40, 50-year-old preacher that lives in upstate New York that plays Final Fantasy and is one of the nicest, coolest people ever. And once you realize that, dude,
that is fucking creepy, man.
New York remembers my bank days with MySpace, but that's a story for another time, dude.
Dude, that's fucking creepy, dude. It's like you got a fucking dude that's playing as a chick.
No, it's not. No,
dude,
it
that's
was a girl.
No, on a game, man.
It's a
Come
girl
on now.
playing a guy.
Dude, they're calling me KP. They're calling me Katy Perry, the greatest pop singer in the entire world. I'm a female, but I damn sure ain't one in real life, man. I'm just having a good time, you know what I mean?
Frank, Al, you guys want to weigh in on this?
We got to get in on it, though. Gowdy liked Real Talk today. So, Gowdy, if you're listening, we love you.
Oh, yeah.
What got me in RPGs, not even just MMOs. I mean, I've been playing since Ultima Online.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I play MMOs for the community, as Ben just mentioned.
Yeah.
What got me into RPGs is I'm just a huge fan of fantasy story, regardless, sci-fi or regular high fantasy, you know. And I've always enjoyed that aspect. I don't mind reading. I don't mind, getting into like it was awesome. Like even just like Skyrim, there was a 30-page book that somebody wrote for the game. Like there's like the amount of literature that's in Skyrim is ridiculous, and to think that somebody actually wrote all of that.
You know what's funny, Al, that you mentioned that, dude, is sometimes I'd be in school, whether it's high school or college, since I've been playing the MMOs, I would see words that I have no idea what the hell they are. Whether it's cleric, whether it's cleric, whether it's Leviathan or Ragnarok, you know what I mean? I would be like, okay, that's mythology. I know that stuff. You know what I mean? It's crazy, dude.
It's relatable.
We know who
sure.
Odin is.
But yeah, and that's honestly why I play, because of the amount of lore, and it just doesn't matter like what game it is. I mean, you can go all the way from like one of our favorite games, me and you, Wilson, is Suikoden, or straight, Final Fantasy, or shit, some people love Mass Effect. It's all, but it's, it's still fun. It's a story that you can get involved in, and that's why. You get emotionally attached to the characters that are surrounding you. Obviously, the bad ones don't do it as good as the others, but...
Sure. I mean, I haven't played a single-player MMO for a long time, since I began playing MMOs since fucking PSO, I think was my first, if you consider that a fucking MMO. I fucking love that shit. It's more like hack and slash. Yeah, I mean, and I never really looked back, because I always liked RPGs, but I liked it because of the stories and shit. And
what about helping people, dude? What is his name? I can't remember his damn name.
Megaboss? No. Randall Thor.
Randall Thor.
Dude,
Randall Thor
probably has
on the podcast, man.
He probably has a girlfriend now in real life. His mother probably has a job now. They're probably going out to dinner every weekend, you know what I mean?
Dude, we turned Randall Thor into a man.
He's only doing all those things because Final Fantasy 14 is not on right now.
Dude, this motherfucker is 6 foot, what,
you guys
3?
were more than
He's
me.
6'4", bro.
6'4". He needs to be a goddamn Rob Gronkowski on the New England Patriots, man. We need autographs now in the mail ASAP before he becomes drafted.
I told his mother, I'm like, listen, you got to get this kid playing some sports someday. He's too
you guys were mean to him. I'm not mean to him, now that I think of it.
I mean, we had to build up his skin.
You guys were so mean to him. No, you guys were so mean to him, and it made me feel bad.
I'll tell you who had thick skin was that dude McCann. That motherfucker.
Oh my god, no, him? I don't like him at all.
You guys see Django?
You can be mean to him all you want.
Wait,
he's
didn't
a
one of us
dick.
Didn't one of us kick him?
No, that was Kind.
I don't know.
No, that was some other motherfucker who came on here afterwards and was like,
that's who it was.
That motherfucker was annoying too.
We all wanted to kick him, it just never happened. I think
it never
left.
happened. I think he maybe wore the shell maybe 2% of the time he was on the game. Other than that, he ran around naked in a subligar
and he
with a
bitched him
chocobo mask on.
about being kicked the first time.
Yeah.
And I didn't kick him. Way
to contribute to everybody, buddy. Wearing a chocobo mask running around in town doesn't help anybody.
I kicked him the second time. I definitely kicked him the second time.
Remember when he was like, your Garuda strategy doesn't work? What, motherfucker? Got that bitch on fire.
What, son?
Holler back.
What?
But yeah, man.
Weapons got him.
but that's just it though. Like, I mean, I think gaming in general brings, it gets a bad stigma, whatever, with these stupid statistics that people pull out of their asses and doctor to fit their argument, whatever. But honestly, the gaming community is the biggest community, coolest community you can ever have. I mean, you can fucking be playing Call of Duty with some motherfucking racist redneck in the South, and you get to kill his ass or whatever on the game, and
at the
same time,
a
little kid is your teammate. It's just like it involves everybody pretty much, and I think that's what's cool about it. I think that's why I like online gaming the most now. Online gaming is definitely my favorite thing. I mean, you get to meet some cool motherfuckers in the process, develop friendships, and
that's why we're here.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're here pretty much. That was the basis of the fucking.
But those.
Go ahead, Dunes.
Those fucking racist rednecks are the best though, dude. Because I play.
You're cutting
I play
off
with
there,
a
bro.
lot of them. I play with a lot of them, and it's hysterical when they find out that I'm Dominican. A lot of be like, "Yo, we got 2 monkeys up there," and I'll be like, "I'll go get them. I'll go get them." And they're like, "Yeah, you got those motherfuckers." And I'll be like, "Yeah," and then like I'll start talking in Spanish. Half of them like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude, I'm Dominican." Like, get the fuck out of here.
Bilingual? Is that a bilingual Negro?
Get those monkeys up in there, and they're usually all these fucking army guys or whatever down south, and yeah, they're fucking racist as fuck. But I mean, who gives a shit? I mean, they're not fucking hurting me. I mean,
they're obviously all there for one reason.
So at that one moment, you're collaborating. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know.
But the thing that makes me laugh though, it's so you get some guys that they're so fucking ignorant. And it's like, when I hear people just go on there and be ignorant, it's like say all this stuff. I mute them.
No,
I can mute you. Shut the fuck up.
Greatest option in the game.
But you get these people that argue. You get the people that argue with them, and they're like, you know what, man, dude? Oh, man, I swear to God. And I'm like, dude, just fucking mute them.
They got so much deeper problems in the game, though, man.
And it's funny because it's like they'll be on my team talking shit about the other guy from the other team, and as soon as the game's over and we go out in the lobby. The guy's like, I shot your ass, buddy. I shot your ass there, buddy. The guy's just like arguing. It's hysterical because it's like, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna mute all of them. So it's like, I find that shit hysterical. Like you're arguing with a 17-year-old that's never seen a black guy, and it's
goddamn.
Alright, guys, I got one thing to throw out at everybody. It's a little bit off topic, but I want to go ahead and try to start something out here. I mean, there's not much time left in the year, but I want to go ahead and see if we can get everybody's picks for the NFL playoffs.
Much time left in the year. It just started, motherfucker.
In the NFL year, my friend. In the NFL year. I'm trying to get some NFL picks going, my friend, for the playoffs.
Sure.
Go Giants.
I'm fuck you, Al.
Giants.
2 weeks in a row he says that bullshit. But
Eli's in the same position as you, buddy. Couch, feet up, with some food in his fucking mouth.
It's Wing Wednesday, motherfuckers. That's what he's doing.
True fucking talk, son. Picks. I guess I'll go first, motherfuckers.
All right, go ahead.
This weekend I got Seattle over Atlanta because I think Seattle is going to the Super Bowl, but that's me. And I think Green Bay is gonna beat San Francisco. I think San Francisco is gonna regret sitting Alex Smith, even though Kaepernick had a pretty solid year. Think the Pats are definitely gonna wash the floor with the Texans again. And I think the Ravens will actually upset the Broncos.
Wow.
I can never pick Peyton Manning. I just don't like the guy. So, I think Pats, Seahawks Super Bowl, and the Pats will not disappoint this time.
Okay.
Take that to the bank, son.
To the bank. I hear you. Justin, you want to go ahead and go next?
I'll take Seattle.
Okay.
I'll take Seattle and Green Bay. And then on the AFC, I'll take Denver and New England.
Fuck you.
Okay, good choices.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
I want to see an AFC Championship game, Peyton and Brady again.
You want to see Peyton Manning lose to Tom Brady again? Come on, that's an old story, man.
It is like LeBron and Kobe. You know what I mean? It's the best of the best. You gotta wish for it if you're an outside fan. Obviously, me and Sim Wilson have a little bit more of a. I don't want to face him because he's kind of good, but I don't want to admit it. Kind of standpoint,
He's a good quarterback. I definitely think, he's beefed up to be this fucking Jesus of football, which I don't really agree with, but, whatever.
All right. Al, I got your picks too. Oh, you said you wanted to go with the same thing?
Yeah, I was going to say, go Giants. They're going to win.
Oh, what about Seattle? You're going to pick for the Seattle game there.
I'll always pick Seattle. So.
Seattle, okay.
Over Atlanta? I'll pick any team over Atlanta.
I hear you. And what about for the Green Bay, San Francisco?
Green Bay.
And then you want the Patriots or the Texans?
It's going to be New England.
And then for the last game, I forgot what you said there. For the
Denver.
Baltimore. Denver. Okay, Denver. And what about you, Frank?
I think Frank is taking a piss. Wait.
No. Let me go ahead and get your picks there. All right, Frank. Frank, have you had a chance to check out the NFL schedule?
No, not recently.
Okay, just go ahead and go to NFL.com real quick and check that out for me. Sin, I'm ready for your picks, man.
I gave you my picks. Get Edison.
Edison, I'm ready for you, sir.
I'm gonna go into a little bit of a rant about this, okay? I do apologize.
Here we go. Here we go.
Take your time. I got my pen in hand.
Between Green Bay and San Francisco, I'm gonna have to pick Green Bay. First of all, Green Bay didn't have a bye week. They played against Minnesota, who was one
They're
hell of a
rolling.
fucking they're fucking rolling. And I think San Francisco, as good as their D is, it's gonna bite them in the ass. The fact that they didn't go with Alex Smith.
I said that.
They have a phenomenal defense. Alex Smith is a guy that has experience. He knows, he's been to the playoffs. He knows what to expect out of it. And I think it's going to be one of those things that's going to be like, it's not going to be till the end of the fourth quarter that somebody's going to be like, I fucking told you so. As far as Atlanta versus the Seattle, I'm going to go with Seattle. I think Seattle's going to go in there and just punch Matt Ryan in the fucking mouth. Because, no, and I think that the thing that's going to fuck over Atlanta is the simple fact that they haven't been giving the ball to Michael Turner the way they're supposed to. They've been relying way too much on Matt Ryan, and they'll give the ball to they'll give the ball to Michael Turner when it's a little bit too late, or
fourth and short, or at the goal line.
Yeah. Anyway, and it's one of those things like you give it to him on the first down, and he'll get a yard, and that's not what you want out of him. You want him to get 3 yards. So you pass the ball, and then you're looking at 3rd and 8, which you can't run the ball on. So it's one of those things that's like Seattle's going to come out, punch him in the mouth, and I think Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson with their legs, it's going to make Atlanta look like they snuck into the fucking playoffs by mistake, which I honestly think they did. But
I completely agree, dude. Because they have really good defense in Seattle, man. Now that Sherman was able to beat his thing with the league, now that they have a really good defense, I think Atlanta's 2 top receivers are going to be calmed down, man.
Yeah, and I think between Houston and New England, I'm going to skip over that because the answer is obvious. I mean, the thing is, I think the fact that that the errors that were made between the first matchup between the two teams, it fucked over Houston because of the fact that they don't play us as often, so they won't be ready for the rest of the game that we should have played against them the first time. And the fact that we got Gronk back, like they don't have all the cards that we have in our pile, and they think they have a game plan, but I think the Patriots is just we might see a different style of Patriots play just so they could throw off the Texans a little bit. And then between Baltimore and Denver, I think Baltimore's playing for Ray Lewis, and Ray Lewis can go against any team, and I'll fucking pick Ray Lewis to at least score one touchdown. And honestly, man, you that emotional high that he gives a team, man, like you really can't go against that.
You can't buy that.
As much as nervous as Peyton Manning makes me, I think the defense will translate over to the offense for Baltimore, man.
And I'm going to go ahead and pick Seattle. I think Russell Wilson's way too strong, and their defense is looking really good right now. You can't go against Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to go ahead and pick with Green Bay. Die-hard New England fan, as everybody knows, so I'm going with the Pats. And I'm going to go ahead and go with Baltimore, number 1, because Ray Lewis, and number 2, I just really do not want to see Peyton Manning. Frank, go ahead. I need your picks, man.
Frank.
Bro, honestly, I haven't really been following this shit at all.
Okay, well, here. What do you want, Baltimore or Denver?
Let's go Ravens.
Ravens? Okay, now do you want New England or the Texans?
You better have the
Texans.
motherfucker.
You
know you motherfuckers are all about, oh, Brady, oh my god, you guys are on this day.
Okay. You said it, you said it.
This
Oh my
fucking thing is
god.
Brady. Come on, man.
Frank, now do you want Seattle Seahawks or the Atlanta Falcons?
Seattle, because Seattle is the damn shit.
Okay. Now do you want Green Bay? This is the final pick. The Green Bay Packers or the San Francisco 49ers?
That's a tough one. I'm going to go Green Bay.
Green Bay, okay. And Justin, I forgot what you put for the Pats game. Who'd you pick?
The Patriots game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took the Pats.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
it looks like everybody has the Pats except for Frank. Al has Denver. Everybody else looks like they have Baltimore, except
I took Denver.
Except for Justin. And then everybody has Seattle, and it looks like everybody else has Green Bay as well.
Does Frank know that we're talking about the Houston Texans and not the fucking Oilers?
I told you I picked it just because everybody's on Brady's dick. I just want to be the.
You were gonna regret that.
I want to be the devil's advocate.
I think Steve McNair and Eddie George are gonna have a phenomenal game.
Steve McNair's back, I'm telling you.
All right, guys. We are at the hour mark here. I kind of want to wrap things up if that's cool with everybody. It fucking flies like always. Pretty much. Had a great time. As always, hope everybody did. It was kind of rushed. We didn't really have a lot of time to marinate and think of a topic, so I thought for the most part, pretty solid once again. Anybody have any plans for the weekends, anything like that? You guys, until the next episode, what do you guys plan on doing?
Sunday,
Squad.
4:30 p.m. You know where I'm going to be, baby. Everybody better be at their couch.
I ain't gonna be doing shit. I'm gonna just be down in Florida, down in this